Here's something to remind you, right? I'm going to put this in every video now, in the beginning. Are you ready? Will, you need to finish your script.
Hello, everyone. We're the Continuity Crew. I'm Will.
Aye.
That's Win. And today we're back with another episode of the Big Feature Film Podcast. And we're back with another Marvel movie. We've got Shang-Chi, released September 3rd. But as always, remember to subscribe if you want more reviews like this. And give us movie recommendations down below. We'd always appreciate that. Or just make sure you watch to the end as well to make sure to see what we say out of 10 for this
And
movie.
also, don't forget to like and subscribe.
What he said.
Yeah.
So, Shang-Chi, 25th Marvel movie, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, man, they're going to make it to 100 one day. For some reason, like, they hit 25. I'm like, 100's no problem.
By the time we're 80, probably.
Well, think on the pace they're going. 25.
I think they're doing 3 a year, aren't they? At this point.
Well,
because Eternals is going to come out this year.
yeah,
and
let's
also
think.
Spider-Man.
Let's think like 25 in what, 13 years?
Yeah.
So, in 36 years, so we'll be 57.
Yeah.
Or you'll be 58, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not to pick
yeah.
cares, but but yeah, no, I don't know if the MCU could go that long, but
They're going to be holograms at that point.
yeah.
You know, it's just going to be holographic movies.
Yeah. It'll be different. But so Shang-Chi follows Shang-Chi. It's full name. Gotta be official here. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings follows, of course, Shang-Chi.
This is Marvel's 25th, and this is the start of Phase 4.
Black
Officially.
I thought Black Widow was. Though.
No, I think it's this one.
I think they should swap it around, and this should be the first one.
I think that is what they said. Or at least that's what the articles I read about it was.
I could see that, because honestly, this feels like a better start. It feels like we're starting over. It's nice. It's fresh. Just leave her.
Yep.
But it's a family power struggle movie between Shang and his father. Wen Wu is his name, or the Mandarin, I guess, is like the comic book name. But it's a.
I love that they retconned Mandarin though. You're like
kind of
Mandarin is an orange.
Yeah, he's like I do like that. He is the character Mandarin, but he's like, that's a silly name. I'm not the Mandarin.
Yeah.
But it follows the characters and honestly, a great journey through him finding who he is and stuff. And I'm trying to think of a better plot. I guess I could go to IMDb. Shang-Chi, the master of what?
Unnamed weaponry
Based kung fu, is forced to confront his past after being drawn into the Ten Rings organization. That's like had to have been like an early write up for that, but kind of. He knows kung fu.
Yeah.
I'm honestly trying to give like a bare bones description for this movie, but it's kind of hard because like,
I mean,
there's some mystical shit in there, man.
Yeah, like
it's
can't get past it.
a family power struggle, and honestly, when I watched it to tease something, I guess to tease our DC rewrite coming out next week, it reminded me of my New Gods movie, like what I wanted that to be, kind of.
Well, technically, I don't think this is a power struggle. I think this is more of along the lines of a struggling father and his estranged son and daughter.
Yeah, and so like
kind of movie.
And
it's about family.
It's about family. Hey, mark it.
You gotta
mark it down on the family counter.
Yep. It's basically a family movie. I mean, they even like allude to it in the movie, but they just never outright said it. They were just kind of like, yeah, your mother was like this, and everyone here were like brothers and sisters.
That is very family. But it is this is kind of what I was thinking for my New Gods movie. Like, Shang would be dark side, and Wen Wu would be the High Father or whatever. But anyways, go subscribe to watch that video when it comes out. Let's talk about the characters a little bit. Did you have any favorite characters? No? Did no one stood out or anything? You didn't like?
Sorry, but I don't.
You didn't like Simu as Shang?
I mean,
I'm actually interested to hear this from you. Like, are you sold on him? Are you like it? I don't know if he's gonna be like a face of the, but I definitely think we'll get a second one. So
I mean, it was kind of, I don't know if this was a good start for the MCU, for Phase 4. I mean, I don't even want to consider it as a Phase 4 start because technically the shows kind of did that already.
That's true. I guess WandaVision.
Yeah, and
which is a great start.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking about this. Like, if this is the start of Phase 4, is it only the movies that they're gonna consider, or is it just like
it's got to be the shows too? I think.
Yeah.
I think WandaVision should be officially the start because it's like, oh, we're doing shows now and they are canon, so the show's the start of this phase. Which, considering that this phase is going to be huge.
Yeah.
I wonder like when it will end. I think they said Blade's going to be start of Phase 5.
Oh, that's strange.
So 2 years from now.
Yeah, I guess if they had to end it, it would have to be Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see, man.
The
whole. We'll probably talk about that in the end of just stuff. The future of this, little cameos and stuff. But we're try and like review. So characters for me. Spoiler, I guess not well hid secret, but Ben Kingsley, seeing him back was great. He was funny. He was like, and I don't, was he actually funny because I feel like we definitely have two different things of humor, and
he was a good kind of comedic relief.
Mm-hmm.
If Aquafina wasn't like also a comedic relief.
So Aquafina, I normally hate her roles. I don't hate her. I just hate her roles because I always feel like she's this comedy relief that's just not very good. She is funny, but like it's just in the movie itself not very good. But I did like they kind of twisted her character because typically she's like this Asian comedic relief. Yeah. Now she's like an American Asian comedic relief. She's more like the estranged American like redheaded stepchild. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And
she grew up too much in America, and then she became kind of more American custom than
like the villain, not great in this. I'll say it's kind of
which one?
Well, specifically Wenwu, the Mandarin, the dad. I'm just kind of like I feel like I've seen it 1,000 times, but I also I'm kind of hypocritical there because I did like it. I did like this story that it told. It felt very basic and very old MCU to me.
See, that's the thing with what I was seeing with people. People were, I saw a bunch of reviews on IMDb especially, and it was like people were talking about how different it was for the MCU. And like, I sort of understand how it could be different, but I think there's just a few things in this movie that just kind of like,
I don't think it was different. I felt I wrote like a little review on my Taste app, which is just where I keep track of my movies, and I was like, this was a good return to form, kind of like your 2008 2012 like MCU. It felt like a basic movie. Yes, there was references to the snap. You see Wong in there, but I felt like it was a good individual story for the most part. I did like what was told, and it was also good to look at.
The difference between then and now is that those were actually kind of great because like they had great character arcs. It was well directed, and the story was well told. So I'm not really like I'm really on the fence of like where this movie stands.
Yeah, and I will say like fresh. I don't know. To me, all it is it was a lot better than Black Widow.
It was, yeah.
Like story wise, at least. I think expectations for Black Widow for me were a little high because I do really like the character, and I didn't know anything about Shang-Chi going into this, so I was like, this could be cool. And I think one thing to kind of move on from characters that really sold just the movie for me was just the choreography and the fight scenes. Yes, I feel like
the way they were shot was awful.
Yes, that can kind of both of my next points. I have like the fight scenes and the visual effects. So I feel like the fight scenes were choreographed great, but the visual effects that surrounded them and how they were shot were kind of
There was a lot of slow-mos and
the like slow-mos they would do where it's like one person's face and then another. I'm like, is this supposed to be romantic? And then it's like Shang and his dad. I'm like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah. It was That's usually like a more romantic cue when you have like a
Mm-hmm.
fight scene. They're all like, yeah,
And I
push in the
did.
face.
So I'm not um like I don't know a lot about I guess Asian filmmaking like your Jackie
This
Chan.
is very, very Asian.
Okay. Cuz like I was going to say like I'm sure I'm without a doubt say like I'm sure a lot of this fights and stuff are influenced from like Jackie Chan stuff.
It
Like
was.
like a
Yeah.
lot of stuff like that. But it's the visual effects, man, like kind of took me out of it. It's like
Which ones?
just the whenever they're fighting, it's like it looks like it's choreographed great. They're doing like the moves and stuff, but then it's like I feel like they're adding stuff to like their arms and stuff
Yeah.
like visually and even just their surroundings. I'm like, okay, it just doesn't look too great. And honestly, the biggest like con I would have for this movie is the visual effects, but I also did love a lot of them. Specifically some like the dragons at the end because I'm also just a sucker for dragons. But
No, this the biggest con for me in this movie was that it was just way too predictable.
that's
mean-
fair, but also that's kind of what I wanted.
Yeah, that I don't like doing that. Like, a lot of people hated this, and you're probably gonna hate it too.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 2, I thought was great. I genuinely
Oh,
thought
dude, I love
it was
Iron Man
great.
too.
Not 2, 3.
Ah, well,
I thought Iron Man 3 was genuinely great
2's
because it was
great.
something different.
okay.
Thor Ragnarok, it was also different because they did
Mhm.
something different with Thor. And this movie, I think they should have done something way, way different because it is kind of like a big start for Disney. And
So I would kind of agree with you on that point. With what I got, I enjoyed and really liked, and I think it was very good. But I feel like they played it a little close to the chest because, like, it's a race thing. To be honest, they wanted to play it safe, like movie wise. They didn't want to, and I mean, it is your first Asian American like led film, so.
But I would have still loved to have seen Shang-Chi kick ass like Jackie Chan did.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like they just played it too close to the chest. I feel like
They played it way too safe.
yes.
And that's why I'm going to say this. I don't think Shang-Chi is that interesting to me.
I would agree.
Yeah, and and the 10 Rings lore to me is not interesting either anymore cuz like Shang-Chi did what they did to Black Widow where it's a shadow organization that can take down whole governments and shit
Mhm.
like that. And it's
It's
just
like how many of these do we have?
yeah, it's just not that interesting anymore. Like
Mhm.
especially for a movie like this where it's all about culture and origins.
Yes.
Like, why would you throw that in there? Why would you just make it about the culture? How about this is one thing that I had a strife with this movie is that they should have started with the magical shit,
Mhm.
and then Shang-Chi could have progressed into the real world.
I would. Yeah, I would.
Because like the
I would
whole
like
like
that.
the
Yeah.
whole thing with like the compound stuff, and it's
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, we were with my dad, and he had
Mhm.
these like secret organizations. It's just not
did-
interesting anymore.
I would agree. It's not interesting. I did like in the movie itself though, kind of the like continuing the story, but doing these flashbacks at the same time.
I thought those were fine.
I did like those because I think we talked about this with our Chadwick Boseman and stuff. Like I think it was the Get On Up did it, and I was
yeah.
like, okay, I like that. I like, and a ton of movies do it, but like this one did it pretty well, so I did like that. Be like one of my pros for it. But I would agree. I think they played it too safe to the chest. I think they could have done it a little bit differently, like with the magical stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of go instead of your, I don't know, this are. Like instead of your, I guess, police story, like Jackie Chan, like real life stuff, you go like your hidden
Magical.
tiger, crouching dragon, or whatever, crouching tiger, hidden dragon stuff.
Yeah.
You do that instead because the mom character, her like going through the air and stuff. I actually thought that looked pretty
Airbending.
pretty much.
I think that's actually Tai Chi, if I can remember. It's moving with the wind and all that stuff.
But like that looked really cool, and I wish we saw Shang more in that, but I think we will.
No, I think this one was kind of an experiment. This movie was kind of an experiment, but they played it safe because they want to be able to air it in China.
And
like
make
that's the biggest
one.
market, yeah. So like they want it to be like the biggest market. They wanted to earn a lot of money. So I understand that, but at the same time, it's like you could have definitely done like a Chinese cut of the movie or something.
Yeah, so they're playing the like Chinese subtitle or Chinese dub at Regal, and I'd probably go see it Monday
Interesting.
with English subtitles because honestly, it starts off with Chinese, and
Yeah.
I thought, is this the wrong dub, or are we about to?
Oh.
But no, it wasn't.
Well, that's the thing is like when they started the movie with the Chinese narration, I thought it felt organic to the character.
Yeah, I'd
I
like that.
I would have just loved to see if they just started with the magical shit and then ease our way into the real world instead of like, yeah, we're in this like real
Like,
world. It gets thrown into like magical shit, and then now it's like, oh yeah, there's a hidden place and it's gonna be a maze, and then
Yeah, so I guess what we both would kind of liked is yes, he's grown up with this magical shit, and now he's kind of like a coming to America. Is he's like the fish out of water, and he goes and gets used to America or something like that, or like he meets Katie and
yeah.
something like that. I could see that being maybe a little bit better, but I did like the final product, I will say. So
I want to say something positive real quick. I think that this movie, I think it was cool to see culture that I'm familiar with. In the Philippines, we have a heavily Chinese influenced culture, and I mean, my family were kind of Chinese immigrants, so don't know the full story there. But my great grandmother was very Chinese, so it was cool to see that. I love those giant lions. I don't remember what they're called. I think they're like guardian lions or like stone lions or something like that. Basically, it's a sign that you're a wealthy family in the Philippines.
oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, I loved also the martial arts in this movie. I think that was something that like that was kind of different, and it was visually pleasing to see them like kind of visualize what the movements were like. So Tai Chi, for example, like they were moving air, and you know that's basically the Tai Chi way.
I would say definitely the best. I guess martial arts probably in the MCU, maybe Winter Soldier's up in there.
Action wise, yes, but like martial arts wise, where they're showing like different forms and different types of martial arts, I think this movie kind of showcased that very well.
Yeah, I did like. I will say, I think I'm kind of a sucker for it. Of the culture stuff, it is very interesting to me, and of course the dragons. I've always fucking loved dragons and like Chinese culture with that part because I'm a weirdo, I guess. But like Black Panther, part of that was the culture as well.
Yeah.
It's like I just love different parts of the world, and so like this was also a cool, I guess, with the martial arts and almost kind of a different filmmaking stuff too. So I would agree with all your good stuff.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I can't stop thinking about the whole dragon scales thing. So did they kill a dragon, or did they like the dragon give that to them, or was that like
that's what I assumed was the dragon like gave it to him, or
shedding skin?
Yes, dragons are supposed to be reptiles. He probably shed the skin, is what I would assume.
That's so weird.
It's cool. I was intrigued because I had seen the like their shields and stuff. I'm like, what's going on in like the trailers? I'm like, what's going on with this? So dragon scales is pretty cool. It's a good I like it's a new weapon. Is it as strong as vibranium though?
I think I just found a hole in their plot.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't the dragon just kill that thing in the first place?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. It's because he was fed souls or something. He was stronger.
I just never thought about that. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess that could be a thing, but at the same time, they were able to trap it in there. So, I mean, why did they just kill it in the first place?
A little bit. But shh, don't think too hard.
I mean, I just want to say that overall, I think it was fun, but it was fine. It wasn't like any like groundbreaking Marvel film.
I would agree.
I mean, the most reviews that I saw from it was like 10 out of 10, or on average was like 8 out of 10. So
yeah, so
I don't think that's you know. I mean,
well,
I guess if you had fun,
we'll see whenever we give our ratings at the end, because pros and cons, I think we got that out of the way. But let's talk a little bit about like the MCU connections, because we're all about that. So we got to see Abomination like for the first time since 2008.
Yeah,
he looks a little different now.
Yeah,
he's green.
He has a little bit of scales.
And in that same scene, we got to see one of the the guys from Iron Man 3. I thought honestly I thought that was such a cool
Oh, the
Eternity?
no, the
What's it called?
exo something. No,
Extremis?
extremis
That's-
or
ex-
extremis.
yeah. We saw a guy with that. I'm like, oh, they're still around. That's really cool to see. But also again, Abomination. But also, Abomination isn't like bad. He's like friends with Wong.
I think he is jailed by Wong, and the only way that he can get out of it is like training with Wong.
Yeah. So I was thinking,
Because it looks like there was a prison when
yeah,
spoiler.
behind him.
Yeah, when there were it looks like a little prison, and it's just like maybe like Wong's just chill about it. So
Yeah, so that's kind of made me think of like Thunderbolts again. I'm still hoping out for that. One day we'll get a
I
Thunderbolt.
could see that being the raps, but like
Oh yeah,
it did seem.
it could.
I
be
don't know. It's
the-
just strange for Wong just to go in and out of the
Yeah.
raps. So I don't know.
it was cool to see. Besides that though, there wasn't much honestly between. They mentioned the snap and stuff, and then you had the post credit scene. I guess the 2 post credit scenes. We'll talk about those. So the first one, spoiler at
Get
the
the out of here.
At
You don't
the
wanna hear it.
end, Wong comes and gets Shang and Katie, and is like, "We have much to talk about." And apparently, the rings had set off this massive thing of energy that they had never seen before.
Yeah.
And we get to see Mark Ruffalo, who is now Mark Ruffalo again, not Smart Hulk, which honestly I'm happy about because that means we can see like a badass Hulk again, and as well as Captain Marvel is there. But it's interesting. I think that was the setup for maybe the second movie, and I'm intrigued to see where they go with that.
Seeing Captain Marvel was very strange. She looks like she's battle damage or something.
Yeah, well,
She
it's
looks
because
tired as fuck.
it's because she has her hair again.
I guess so, but like no, I mean like just her makeup looks like she was tired. It looked like she filmed it at home or something.
Yeah,
Like a Zoom call.
Maybe honestly, she just had the suit in the back
Yeah.
and she just threw it on. And they just did it like that. I could kind of see that. There wasn't again much from that unless I'm missing something. I think that was honestly.
Well, besides the fact that Wong is kind of like their spiritual guide now.
I do like that though.
Yeah, I think that's
I
very
want to
interesting.
see that. I honestly want Wong to do that with more characters.
Maybe not just Wong, but Doctor Strange also.
He'll
So
kind of
they
be
have, like-
the, I guess the Nick Fury kind of maybe.
I wouldn't say Nick Fury. I think it's more along the lines of like any magical shit. For example, the 10 rings, since those aren't
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
those are like in world or shit like that.
Yeah, because they had said they'd never seen anything
Yeah.
like him. So
So I think anything that's out, well, it does make sense because Doctor Strange did say this in I think Thor Ragnarok. Anything that's out of world,
Yes,
that he would
yeah.
he would talk about.
man, they
it.
need to bring back the gloves he had in that.
Yeah, they should.
They
Yeah.
look so cool. I saw that scene like earlier this week. I'm like, man, those gloves are badass. One character, real quick, that I did kind of like for no apparent reason was Razor Fist. The guy,
so stupid.
so stupid, but I did kind of like him. I hope we might see him again. And then this guy gets.
And then the team up at the end was just so dumb.
Yeah.
That was so stupid.
I was like, okay, I get it, but also okay. And then the last post credit scene is essentially Xia Ling, his sister, takes over, and was that her name? Xia?
Something.
Or is it-
Xia Ling.
Xia Ling. She essentially takes over the Ten Rings organization, and then we get the Ten Rings will return.
Yeah.
And where do you think those are going to show back up? Because I've been thinking about that, and I just don't know.
Secret Invasion. I don't know.
I could see them. God, I'm trying to think. What they're going to be in something that we won't expect. I'm
Secret
telling.
Invasion.
Maybe.
10 Rings. Armor Wars.
Actually, I could see that. I'm trying to think what else is coming. Because I definitely think it'll be a show. We'll see them again.
Or just a second movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of hope for it.
That's
I mean,
fair.
honestly, the 10 Rings, they should have just gotten rid of the 10 Rings. Xia Lin should have done something else. She shouldn't have called it 10 Rings. Should have taken down that flag. Because technically, she doesn't have the 10 Rings anymore.
It's true.
So, yeah.
I do like they made it very clear that Shang-Chi is very strong. Because he took out that fucking big-ass dragon thingy.
I guess so.
So I'm like, well, it just means like he can compete is essentially
with the 10 rings.
Yes.
With the 10.
With only the 10 rings.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just a
he's he's just a dude.
Well, I still like it. So
there's a lot of flexibility to this movie. It's just, man, if they weren't so safe about it, I'm sure this movie could have been put exponentially better. It could have been another like genre. Different genre style of a Marvel movie where it's like maybe it's like
I think
Jackie Chan's movies.
Like I think they relied too heavily on the like the martial arts and the choreography is great, so we can just make like a simple ass movie. And sure for some people, but I get what you're saying.
The way I see it, it's created for the international market. People outside of America is definitely gonna like this. I mean,
it only did like 8 million last night.
Oh, damn! Internationally,
I think I don't know. I don't know if they do Thursday
domestic?
night. Yeah, I think that was domestic. So,
but yeah, it was a fine movie. I don't think people are overhyping this movie way too much.
I would agree.
And you should look at the reviews, man.
But let's get to our 1 out of 10 because I'm actually pretty set on what I'm giving it. But you go ahead.
Give it a 5 for critical.
Okay.
Played it too safe. They didn't really do anything. I mean, they did introduce a different type of magic.
Yeah,
that was something different for the MCU. But aside from that,
so I really hope we see the like Soul Eater things or that whatever that was going maybe again or something like that because I felt like that was such like a one-off like enemy. I'm like that could have destroyed everything allegedly. So like hopefully we see it again. So mine, I'm giving a 7.5.
Jesus Christ!
I really liked it, man. Like
Jesus Christ!
I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a good return to form for kind of like it made me nostalgic kind of for the old MCU. Take me back. Not really, but
old MCU. It made you not. What do you mean nostalgic?
Like the Iron Man.
This had nothing to do with it.
No, it didn't have anything to do with that. But I felt like it was a good individual story.
I don't think so. The thing is, like Iron Man and Captain America and Thor, again, they had good character arcs. This barely had one.
It's my dad. I think. It reminded me a lot of, I guess, Iron Man. It's nowhere close to how much I love Iron Man and how good Iron Man is. But I felt like it's like, okay, you've got your protagonist and the opposite of your protagonist is like just the mirror, which is the antagonist. And I like that. Like your Iron Man and your Ironmonger type villain stuff. I liked it. Don't hate the player, just hate the game. Like I understand, but I did enjoy it.
That's fair. I mean, I wouldn't give that much though if I enjoyed it.
I mean, and
because like if you enjoyed it, I get it if you give
not
it
to
like
say
7,
like,
but I don't know, man. I don't know if critically giving this a 7 is just like
Well, so did we? I meant to check what we gave Black Widow. Think I gave like I don't know. I'm trying to compare these. Like it was better than Reminiscence.
No, then do not.
It was better than Reminiscence.
No, I think Reminiscence was better. It had a better concept in this movie. It did.
Well, this will just make the video 20 minutes longer. I'm just gonna cut it off there. What is your entertainment value out of 10?
6.
It's fair. Anyways, though, that's been our big feature film podcast for the week. That's Shang-Chi, 25th movie in the MCU. As always, if you enjoyed, comment down below. Whatever, I don't know. Comment something. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Words. Thank y'all for watching. We love movies. We love y'all, and we'll see you on the next one. We've been the Continuity Crew. I forgot to say that. We'll win. Bye.